Hello, writer.com. Back at you live with PW Post. This is episode 9. All right. This week we're going to be talking about WordPress. Going to be sharing my screen with you quite a bit. If you're out there and you're checking this out and you want to know if you can join, go right ahead. This is what we've got this week. That's why it's called the post, y'all. Some post-it note. All right, so I myself use WordPress exclusively and highly endorse it. And maybe you're wondering, well, why WordPress? First of all, it's an open source software from humble beginnings, and I like that. I like the fact that I'm able to use WordPress free of charge. All it costs me is for my domain and my hosting. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. It's take 2 of this video, so it's going to run a little smoother this time. And I forgot a couple links, so I already wrote those down. All right, so here we go. Point 2. It's not too hard to learn. I made the jump from Blogspot. If you're familiar with Blogger or Blogspot, that's the blogging platform that's owned by Google. Made the jump from them to WordPress fairly simply. So if you've ever used Blogger, you're not going to have a problem with WordPress at all. There's tons, and I mean tons, of theme options. WordPress ships with a few themes, and of course nobody wants to use the default theme, so you can check out the theme market that's kind of built into the dashboard. I'll run through all this stuff briefly during the video, but you can run through the themes that are available through the WordPress.org marketplace. Most of them are free. Aside from that, you can always do a Google search, free WordPress themes, free responsive WordPress themes, and pretty much find what you're looking for. A lot of people will let you use their theme just to keep their link in your footer because it gives them a backlink from every site that theme is installed on. I know that's how it used to be. That might be a little deprecated now, but it also may still be the case. I'm not sure. Anyway, you can have a theme built. You can buy a program, or you can build a theme yourself, which is what I've done for years. I use a software called Artisteer. The interface of it is a lot like Microsoft Office Suite, so it's easy to use. I'll link to that in the description as well if that's something that you're interested in. Anyway, how to run a link anyway. Theme options they're everywhere. You can hire somebody, on a webmaster form to build you one for, a relatively fair price. WordPress is easy to monetize with ads or products. It's not difficult to put your AdSense ads or your personal, if you want to use personal advertising. I knew a guy a few years back that ran a CSS. It was a website about CSS, which is a programming language, and it had like different tricks on it. And he was making about $700 per month just from having little ad spots on that website and renting those out to people by the month. So it's very easy to do that kind of thing with WordPress. You can add in, you can use a plugin, or you can install a shopping cart on a subdomain. With WordPress, most of the time it plays very well with other platforms like OpenCart and things like that. If it's built on PHP like WordPress is, it pretty much plays pretty well with it. So customization is through the roof with WordPress. Between your theme options and all of the plugins that are available to make WordPress do different things, and the standard features, like you can customize every pixel of your website pretty much. It's frequently updated. They update WordPress probably every couple months, comes out with a new version, patches up security. holes and that kind of thing. And the same is true with most plugins as well. It's inexpensive. Like I said, to have a WordPress site will cost you the price of your domain name and your hosting. So it's a very cost-effective choice, and it packs a lot of value. If it's something that you're interested in, I can help you out. That's not the purpose of this video, so I just want you to know. It's great for blogging because obviously it was designed first as a blogging platform. But the thing is that WordPress makes an awesome website as well. You can have a WordPress website without having a blog. So it's great for blogging, websites, or you can have both. However you want to set it up, that's how you can get it done. For a fresh install of WordPress, all you need, like I said, is your domain name and your hosting. A domain name is going to set you back around $11 a year. Sometimes you can get them cheaper. It depends. Like if you go with a .net or you want a .info. I always try to use a .com for a site that I'm trying to rank or that I want to, it to appear professional. I go for a .com always. Cost me about $11, $12 a year through Namecheap. I like to use better than GoDaddy because when that weird internet SOPA thing was out about like net neutrality and stuff, GoDaddy was all up on board with that. I'm not cool with that. I think the internet should be out there and available to everyone all the time. So anyway, I never was a GoDaddy fan and still am not. Not saying you shouldn't be, that's just my personal preference. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all you need. I prefer a cPanel hosting where there's it has the option where you can do a one-click install of WordPress through a script installer like Fantastico or Softaculous. I know that might sound like all Greek to you. If you need some help with that, let me know. But that's what I look for, is a way where I can install WordPress, with a couple clicks and be done with it. Easy peasy. Alrighty, so I tell you what I'm going to do now is share my screen with you. We're going to dive in and we'll take a look. Let's see. And then I ripped off my gig here before I was ready. I should know. Let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll jump in, yo. There we go, and share. Let me see if I can't minimize this without closing it, like I did that one time. Alrighty. I'm going to start with this dashboard. This is my test site. You can see it's on a .info domain. It's not really anything that I'm trying to rank. It's just out there for testing purposes, and you can see it needs a few updates here, and this is what it looks like when you need updates to your WordPress site. If WordPress itself, the whole thing needs to be updated, there'll be a banner across the top of your dashboard here. But I mean, this is pretty much what your dashboard is going to look like. Not too terribly scary, right? So I'm going to show you how easy it is to update this. I'm just going to click updates here, and that's going to take me to a page of my dashboard that shows me everything that needs to be updated. Like you can see here, it's telling me that I have the latest version of WordPress, so I'm cool there. Pretty much anytime you have a red or orange or whatever, burnt orange, whatever color this is beside your updates, you need to go in there and check and see what needs to be updated. Alright, so I've got some plugins here, all of the ones that I have currently installed, which again are just for test purposes on this particular WordPress site. All 5 need to be updated, so I'm going to select all. I'm just going to go ahead and update them for you here in real time. Let you see what that looks like. It's already updated one on the second one. It's fairly a quick procedure, and it does take your website offline while it does it and puts it in a maintenance mode. So if someone goes to your website while it's being updated, they're just going to see, a maintenance message that says, hey, we're performing maintenance, check back in a few minutes type deal. Unless you just get like hundreds of thousands of millions of visitors every day, I doubt you're going to have any issues with somebody actually hitting your site while it's updating. But yeah, pretty much it does this itself automatically, as you can see. This used to not be the case. You used to have to do all this manually with an FTP program and upload the files and whatnot. But every time WordPress updates, it gets better. Like every time. They've automated so many things and added so many features in here that eliminate so many clicks and steps. It's ridiculous. I tried Joomla once, which is another popular content management system, not unlike WordPress, and I was so confused. I couldn't get anything to work in there. I was like, oh, well, let me go back to WordPress here. All right, so here it gives you the choice. You can return to plugins page. Like if you wanted to add some more plugins or whatever, you can go right back to the updates. I'm going to do that because I'm sure there's something else here that needs to be updated. The other thing that updates, pretty much you have three things that update on your site: WordPress itself, your plugins, and your themes. And most of it is all like a security measure type thing. So you can see my themes need to be updated. These pretty much take no time at all to update. So that's that, and it'll run that update, and then I'll be all good and up to date after that. I mean, that's it. Like if you were doing WordPress as a business or whatever, just the update part is something that you can sell as a service for pretty much whatever price you feel like. And people don't know that it's just as easy as, you know, clicking a couple whatever. So I'm all up to date, no more orange, red, whatever color buttons. So I want to tell you that pretty much plugins with WordPress are the secret ingredients as far as customization and whatnot goes here. So I'm just going to start at the top and we'll work our way down. You've already seen updates. This is your home screen of your WordPress. Why is it showing me? I said home. It's showing me my WordPress SEO by Yoast. Why am I being listen, during my last video, somebody kept knocking on my door. Now I'm getting text. Anyway, we'll just start at the top here. So obviously a post is a post to your blog. Maybe you're watching this and you're thinking, well, I don't really want a blog. That's fine. You don't have to have one, and I'll show you how to get rid of that down in the settings. But let's take a look at the post interface really quick. I'll add a new post. And this is it, your title, your post. When you install WordPress, this is what your options look like here. I like to toggle the toolbar. It used to say everything in the kitchen sink. Now it just says toolbar toggle. I guess they simplified it. But now you have these options here, and this is where you can add like your H2 tags and that kind of thing. And this here is not normally here. It's added here because I have the WordPress SEO by Yoast plugin on here right now. You can see you have all of these options for your post format. I always use standard and just make it work out, you know, look how I want it to. You can publish immediately, or you can schedule out. You can write as many posts as you want, schedule them at all different times. You can preview it. You can save it as a draft, finish it later. If you don't like it, move it to the trash. You can publish it right now. This is how you add images to your your post, you would either choose an image from your library or upload a new image. Just select it from your computer and upload it right in there. And that's pretty much how a post works. This is going to be your media library. This is all the media that you have uploaded to your WordPress site. So you can manage it here in whatever way that you wish. You can add it from here. Like if you're going to be working on some posts, they're all themed or something, and you just want to go ahead and upload your images all at once, you can do that here. Links. This is something that WordPress calls the blog roll, and it's basically a widget that would go in your sidebar. And of course, it has all of their links in it by default. You can change all of these and remove them, whatever you want to do. You can add as many as you want if you choose to use the blog roll widget. It's a list of links basically, and it's kind of a deprecated thing. It was a key feature of WordPress from the beginning, and I guess they've just kept it. So there's that. Your pages, your interface here is going to work the same way that your posts work. Just remember that you're writing a page here. It's this down here. I got some extra things down here. I'm not sure what's going on. Like I said, this is my test site, so there might be some extra stuff added in here. But you can add media and write your copy and everything just like you would with a post. And there's usually a spot down here where you can turn off the comments. I don't see it. There's another way that you can do that. However, here in the all pages list, it's laid out like this. You can go under quick edit and turn off your comments on your pages, update it, and the comments. Because usually on your pages you don't want comments. That's something that's reserved for blogs and posting and that kind of thing. Here's where you can select all of your, or see all of your comments, what's pending, approved, because in the settings you can set it up where the comments have to be approved and that kind of thing. Set it up however you want. So this is where you manage your comments on your posts. Your appearance, as you can see here, is obviously where your themes are uploaded or chosen. You can go in here. You can say, hey, I want a new theme. I'm going to add a new theme. If you're uploading it from an outside source, you would do that here. Otherwise, you can go in here and you can filter out the features that you like. You can have a black theme if that's what you're looking for. 3 columns, which means there'd be 3 columns across the page, your posts, and then two widget areas on either side, or 2 on one side, however you want it set up. And these features here, basically, if you head over to the WordPress Codex, or you just do a quick Google search on any of these things, it'll tell you what they are. Say, well, I need to know what front page posting is for WordPress, and you type into Google front page posting WordPress. You're going to get a link to the codex here, and it's going to tell you what that is. Basically, it's creating a static front page. So that theme would allow you to have a front page that is static. And then there would be options for different design on your other pages, or say your post pages and that kind of thing. So you can pick your features, or you can just search the featured and popular. Any of these that you want to check out, you can see, you can detail and preview and see what it would look like on your blog right here from the interface. It's great. Customize, that's just your theme options basically. You can pick colors and that kind of thing. Widgets are, you're going to have widget areas designated in your theme, and you're going to be able to add things like your archives, which is a monthly list of your posts and what they were about. Categories is all your categories. So say you write a post and it's about novel writing, and you make that your category. You can put a list of all your categories on your pages in a widget, and anytime somebody clicks that category, they can see all of the posts that you've written about novel writing. And categories only really matter if you're using WordPress with the blogging side of things. You put a list of your links, a custom menu. I mean, you know, it goes a little deeper, but with some of these things, but you can pretty much figure it out. You can add a tag cloud, which is just if you use tags in your posts, it'll just put them all in the cloud, and the ones used the most will appear bigger and that kind of thing. So, like I said, you can search any of the, you know, what is a calendar in Google? What is a calendar widget? Any of that stuff, you can search that in Google and tell you what it is. That's basically how, you know, I taught WordPress to myself, was one Google search at a time. If it was something that I didn't know what it was, I'd either just go ahead and try it and see what it looked like and see if that told me what it was, or I'd Google search it. So menus, that's going to be your navigation menu. These used to be default. You can set them up however you want to now and have different ones appear on different pages and different places. If you go over to my Pro Web Writer here and you go home, actually, I'm sorry, if you hit members, you're going to see that I have a custom, this is my main navigation window, or a menu, I'm sorry, here across the top of my website. You're going to see this is a custom menu here for members, and it's going to be the account links, and I can go to the private members area, and there I'm going to see the same menu so that my users can navigate the members area of my website. So that is what a custom menu looks like. Background, that just means you can set up a background image, more themes, activate your add-ons. The editor is where you can add in different types of code, like if you want to use your Google Analytics account with your WordPress site, this is where you would go in and add your code under the header PHP file. You just click that and it bring it up. And then you're going to look for this code here, the end of the head HTML tag, and you paste your Google Analytics code right in there, and it'd work on all your pages. So that's basically what your editor is for, unless you become more advanced and you're doing some coding and that kind of thing. This is where you would manipulate all of those things. Moving on, your plugins, I already showed you a little bit about this. When we updated these, plugins pretty much are the secret ingredient to your WordPress site. If you click this, then you're going to see the featured and popular plugins. For example, here you see WP Super Cache, which caches everything in your WordPress so that it loads more quickly. BuddyPress makes your WordPress site into a community. Jetpack is huge. Let me just show you this real quick. Jetpack is put out by WordPress themselves, and it is an awesome, awesome plugin. You'll need to have a WordPresscom account to connect it to. No big deal, it's free. What you can do with this, aside from these 9 features here, there are 25 more once you click this button. And you can manage multiple WordPress sites from one dashboard. If I activated that, I could operate all of my websites from this one dashboard. You can publicize, lets you send posts to social media every time you create a post. You have a related post widget. I mean, just all of this stuff it does. And all it is you just go in and activate it, and then you configure it. It's no big deal at all. You can get your contact form this way. Carousel for your photos, comment systems, like buttons, mobile theme. That's a huge thing. Like if you pick a theme and it's not responsive, you realize, right, that in 5 days Google is going to start penalizing sites that are not mobile responsive. This is the simple solution for temporary. If you have a WordPress site, download Jetpack, activate it, get in there and do that mobile theme. and get that done. I'll show you what it looks like really quick on my phone before we wrap up. But yeah, it has all of the, I don't want to go over all these, but I mean, it has all of those things. It is a wonderful, huge, serious plugin that does a ton of things for your site. So as you can see, you can search common things down here, common tags on plugins here in the tag cloud, or you can search whatever you're looking for here. I highly recommend for SEO. Remember, in our list of reasons why you would want to choose WordPress, easy SEO was one of the things. It's pretty much, it's almost, you know, it's simple with a plugin. The one that I prefer is called WordPress SEO by Yoast. If you type Yoast in this box right here, you'll find it no problem. And that one's, it's got a simple interface. It's got a green dot if your SEO is good, a yellow dot if it's not so great, and a red dot if it's bad. And you simply, there's a whole page of a page analysis page rather. Let me see, I'll show you one. Let's just go check out a post here really quick. Okay, you can see I got my green dot here for SEO. So if we take a look here, we go in and edit this post and we take a look, and it works on your pages as well. We take a look at this post. I'm going to scroll down to my SEO by Yoast, which is right here. You can see it's got pretty much like a little simple thing here. Once you get all green yeses and stuff here, you know you're pretty much on the way to where you need to be with things. But it has this page analysis tab here, and it will tell you how to make your SEO even better. So if it's yellow or red, you'll see here at the top of the list all things you can change to make it better. You just fix those things, run it back through, check whatever here until you get that green dot, and then you're good to go. That's why I really like Yoast. You can use, I used to use all-in-one SEO pack, and that's my close second, but it doesn't give you green dots. Everybody wants green dots. And it also it doesn't have that page analysis feature where it tells you exactly what's wrong. I mean, that's pretty much basic SEO right there. I mean, if you hired an SEO to do something for your site, things in that list are basically things that they're going to hit first. So, and you've got a site that is basically, or a plugin that's basically telling you how to do it, and you know, all but doing it for you. So, users, this is where you add users to your site. Like if say you're a writer, and you have an editor that takes a look at all your posts and pages before you actually publish them, you would add them here as an editor, and you would make their role, editor and that kind of thing. So that's where you can add users. Tools, these are going to be your import and export. And once in a while, when you add a plugin or something, it'll add it in under here. You just have to kind of check if you can't find it anywhere else. When you do a fresh install of WordPress, the first place you want to come is going to be your settings tab. After everything is already updated, if you install it and you have the little, you know, orange circles everywhere, go ahead and update everything, make sure everything's up to date. Then head over to the settings tab and get to work on the general. You're going to be able to set the title and tagline. Obviously here it's going to be the title of your website or blog, and then a tagline like for my pro web writer. And I'm sorry, I know I'm talking kind of fast, but I'm trying to get through this. I don't want to take like hours and hours. So it's site title prowebwriter.com, and my tagline is where writers gather. And then you can see there's just, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, the various other features here, the format you want your date and English and, you know, all that kind of things. Your writing. Do you want to convert emoticons like a smiley face or the guy with his tongue out to graphics, which means, you know, like the actual smiley emoticon? Of course you do, because that's fun. You can make a new default post category, which is always a good idea for SEO. You can make it, you know, miscellaneous posts, or, you know, miscellaneous topics from Pro Web Writer. And so if you forget to categorize your post, it'll always go to that post, but it'll still be SEO optimized for your site. So it's always a good idea to replace this one with something else. Let's see. Default post format, I'll just leave that at standard. Leave all this other stuff standard. And you can set it up with some settings here where you can post via email. I've never done that. I can always just go in and post, you know, because you want to be able to format and stuff. And then here's your update services. Ping-O-Matic's always in there. Every time you write a new post or publish a new post, WordPress pings Ping-O-Matic, and Ping-O-Matic sends out the signal that you've written a new post to all these places and blah. You can see more about that in the codex. There's a link here. You can also search Google and find all kinds of, you know, there's all kinds of, you know, famous bloggers and that kind of thing that put their ping lists out. You can copy and paste right in there and it'll ping the services, no big deal. Reading settings, and this is where you would set up WordPress. Remember I told you I would tell you if you don't want a blog on your website, because, you know, not everybody does. Just because you've got a website and it's WordPress and it has a blog doesn't mean you have to have a blog. Not everybody wants to be a blogger. So this is where you would set that up. Now on Pro Web Writer, I have mine set up with a static page, which means, you know, I could easily opt out of having a blog on my website, but I do. I have it set up here on the blog page. This is my home page. So this is the page when you type prowebwriter.com in, this is the page that it goes to. WordPress default would be, this page would display my latest post like my blog page now does, which looks like this. So obviously how you would change that setting here is you would go from your home page being your latest post to it being a static page. You would create a home page and a page for your articles if you're going to have some. If not, you would still create a page just so you could specify a post page in here and then just hide that page from navigation. It was pretty simple in the quick edit, like I was showing you how to remove comments earlier. It's pretty much a simple click in there like that. So anyway, that's how you make your WordPress site just a static website rather than just, you know, a blog. But you can easily have both as well, like I do over here at Pro Web Writer, which is here. This is an example of one of my other sites that's set up with the posts as the front page. So these are just the latest posts to this website. And that's what that looks like instead of there being a central home page. Moving on, all these things are self-explanatory. I'm not going to go over each one. The discussion tab is going to be all your settings for your comments. I pretty much usually always just leave this as the default because WordPress has a knack for choosing good defaults. Your media settings, how big you want your pictures to be, where you want them to go, that kind of stuff. Again, I usually just leave that default. Your permalinks, I like to change to post name. So, for example, on my website, when somebody goes to the forums, it's just prowebwriter.com/forums. It's not, you know, prowebwriter.com/the date I made the forums and all this other stuff. I just like to use the post name permalink structure, but you can see, and it gives you an example out to the side about how they're going to look. So you just pick the one that you like best. I like this one, and it's SEO friendly. So you can also make a custom one as well. So that's pretty much the settings. Everything else down here is just added plugins that are in there. That's pretty much a basic WordPress install and just an overview of the dashboard. Not scary. There's always a help tab up here. So don't ever be afraid of it. I cannot say enough good things about WordPress. That's why I use it exclusively. A quick Google, like I was talking about before, usually tells me anything that I don't know or how to do anything, you know, special that I want to do with the platform. I wanted to touch on WordPress.org versus WordPress.com. WordPress.com is the free alternative. So like you can go you can head over to Blogspot and you can create your free blog. You can do the same with WordPress, and you know, you can really get a handle before you invest any cashola. You can get a little bit of a handle on how WordPress works, because obviously you're going to get, you get a free blog, and you get a free account, and you need, if you use Jetpack, you're going to need an account over here anyway. So, and there's a few other places with WordPress.org, like the plugins and things where you might want to be able to log into WordPress.com. So either way, you want an account over here. And mine's just set. Normally you would see like a whole blog here. Mine's just set up to display my Pro Web Writer. So anybody that comes to this account and tries to follow me and stuff, they're following the right site and not some little, blog I made 10 years ago with nothing on it or whatever. So that's the difference. Now, if you head over, this is your WordPress.com. That's where you can get a free WordPress blog. The difference between that and self-hosted is that if you have your own blog that you're self-hosting, it's yours. You can put whatever you want on it, and as long as your hosting and your domain are paid for, that stuff is not going anywhere. Now, if you post something offensive on, say, Blogger or WordPress.com, it's highly likely that your information could be pulled down, your account banned, all of your content lost, and that kind of thing. That's just not something that's going to happen when you have your own self-hosted blog. The other thing is that it looks more professional. You don't want to be sending if you're trying to impress someone, you don't want to send them over to your, website at blogspot.com or your website at wordpress.com. You want to send them to, myname.com or, something to that effect, like prowebwriter.com. If somebody's hiring me, or if I'm looking for a job as a writer, especially writing for the web, I can just send people right over. This is my website. It's at prowebwriter.com. It's easy. And it's not, I'm not saying, oh, it's Ava, the pro web writer at WordPress.com. You see the difference there? So it's a little more professional. Now, if you can't afford a self-hosted website, absolutely make your website wherever you can. You need to have that central place where all of your stuff is. And like I was showing you before, there's a section in the dashboard. As soon as I click on one of these dashboards, in the tools, see this import right here? So say you have your little blog over at at WordPress.com. You can export it over there and import it right into your new WordPress install on your own domain and just move your website that easy. You can also import from Blogger. You can import from TypePad. You can import into WordPress from most places. And you might have a few display issues, but for the most part, it's going to be minimal, and the heart and the gist of your content will end up over there. So if you, like I said, if you can't afford a site, definitely do your free thing. There's no shame in it. It just, once you get established and you're at a certain point, it just looks better. If you don't care about that, keep your free website. Be a rebel. Start a revolution. I'm all about people, don't let somebody else just always be telling you how things should be. Do it your way. All right, so let's see. If you want a WordPress site, I can help you out with that. Again, I said, you know, that's not what this video is for, but I will put a couple links in the description if you're interested. I can almost guarantee you I'm pretty much the cheapest hookup on the internet for that. So, moving on, the stuff that is happening now, there's a couple free online conferences that are currently going on, and I've discussed those in my previous, I'm about out of breath. I've discussed those in my previous videos. The Indie Recon is going on right now. Head over to indierecon.org. I'll put the link in the description. What's the other one? The Self-Publishing Summit 2015 is also going on. They're online. They're free. You can check them out. Lots of cool, awesome speakers and that kind of thing. All right. Trying my hand at a Warrior Forum thread, a Warrior for Hire thread. Cost me $20 to offer my services as an ebook writer. So it's a bit of an experiment. I'll be reporting on that. Let's go take a look at the book sales. What do you say? I haven't looked at them in probably a couple days at least. I did finally make some sales for April, so that's always a plus. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh yeah, this is fabulous. Okay, so I've got 4 borrows out and 1 sale on my first conspiracy fact book. Second one, I got 1 borrow out. Easy Kindle formatting using Google Docs. I've got 3 sales on that one. I got 1 borrow out on my mystery suspense thriller short story called Entity. And I got 1 sale on my low carb primer cookbook, so which is still selling. I did the Great Cookbook publishing experiment. That was one of my early videos. You can check that out at my channel. But yeah, this is way better than what I've been seeing. So I'm, again, nothing phenomenal, but hey, I'm still, you know, books are selling. This is good. I'm kind of at a point right now where I'm not writing new books to publish because I don't have time. I'm trying to, like I said last week, eke out a living right now. So let me go ahead and pull this back up. I think I'm done sharing my screen. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm trying to eke out a living right now. So once everything gets straightened out there, then I'll start writing and publishing again. I'm sure it'll bring all my numbers up. So what's coming up? What is coming up is I'm going to do a little video on what not to do as a writer and a website owner. I've been here for 5 years with ProWebWriter.com. For 4 of those years have been trying to build a community. That's what led to doing these videos. Is it was kind of the only thing that I hadn't tried to produce some semblance of credibility. So if anybody knows what not to do, it's me. So that's what's coming up for the next video. If you have any suggestions about some stuff you'd like to hear about, I'd love some suggestions. You know, you can pick my brain. I really have a lot of knowledge about publishing for Kindle, Kindle Direct Publishing, writing ebooks, formatting them, and that kind of thing. And I know how to do it the easiest and the cheapest way possible. So I feel like I have a lot to offer you. So yeah, we'll talk about what not to do next week, and that sounds exciting, doesn't it? That should be a fairly short one. See if I can find you anything else. Like I said, I got those conferences going on right now. Try to share a little something useful with you every week. I'm sorry this video is so long, but if you wanted to see what the dashboard of WordPress was like, if it's been a mystery to you, it was my pleasure to be able to take you on that journey. And I hope to see you soon in the next video. And thanks for watching. Take care, and I will catch you next time.